Hello, my name is Gabriel and today I'll be talking about Life. Life is Strange, an episodic series by Don't Nod Entertainment. I had mixed feelings about playing this game. The first time I saw it, I was a little bit skeptical, but later down the line when I played the first episode, it actually hooked me and I decided to play all other 4 episodes. It is an episodic series, a type of production that I don't usually play very often, and I certainly don't play episodic titles as they are intended to be played, so from time to time. No, I rather buy them all in one pack and play. So here's my review. We're starting with, obviously, the story. The story of Life is Strange is set in USA in a backwater town called Arcadia Bay in state Oregon. This city is famous for actually only one thing. It houses Blackwall Academy, a school for talented young people who are aspiring artists. That is also the reason why Max, our hero, she's actually called Maxine Caulfield. That's a very nice name, by the way, Maxine. She tries to, or aspires to, be a photographer. And that's why she comes back to Arcadia Bay after leaving this town when she was 13, so 5 years ago. She's now 18. She decides to come back and actually start a program in photography. As many times with these types of games, I don't really want to spoil the story for you, so I will try to keep this to basic essentials and try to pass on only the main themes of episodes, so I will restrict myself only to an overview. Suffice to say that this is a story-focused game and it is aware of what it actually wants to tell you. You can expect themes of friendship, love, and a big question about life, as well as some more darker themes like murder, abuse of trust, abuse of power, euthanasia, and some really hard questions that are actually designed into this project very carefully, and what I will say, and I will stress that out, very thoroughly. When you play this game, you actually notice that the writers and the designers had that in mind to make you think about some of these themes. The game also has several behind-the-scene episodes in the forms of short videos where game creators talk about challenges that the creation of this game, the design of this game, actually put in front of them and the developer team. It's a type of thing that I actually found really interesting, and I would love more games to give this types of narrative from a design point of view. That would be something, I hope that will become something like Don't Nod's trademark in the future, because it really helps to understand what it is and how it works on the other side of the development process, when you're not only a gamer, but when you have this glimpse into the workshop of the developers. In the department of characters, I must say, I had quite mixed feelings, especially after some time has passed since I played these games. The main cast is really strong here, especially Max and Chloe, but some of the secondary characters, the people who you interact with during the, I would say, side conversations, they are actually plain, and I would say that I don't recall them really well today. I kept thinking that one character was a substitute for another, and basically they are quite interchangeable. This might be just me, because I'm quite picky when it comes to character designs, especially after playing so many RPG games that had so well written characters. But in this game, it just struck me after some time that even if I do remember the designs of these characters, how they look, I can't recall their faces, mainly can't recall what they were saying. Keep in mind 2 names when you're playing this game: Chloe Price and Mark Jefferson. Besides Max herself, these 2 are the best of the cast, if you ask me. In summary, this story is not for everyone, let's make it clear, but at the same time it is a unique tale, and in its own right it has potential to actually impress. It impressed me, and I hope it will impress you if you decide to play this game. But keep in mind that this actually depends on your personal preference, which is kind of a difficult thing, but it is something you need to keep in mind. Now, in the department of visuals, nowadays I really have a problem, a big one. It was quite easy 5 to 10 years ago to say that the game's graphics are, let's say, very good or mediocre. Today it is actually quite difficult, at least for me, to pinpoint that the game is graphically impressive or not, because the technical side just moves so quickly that for me it is difficult to evaluate the game's technical side, or rather I should say technical fidelity, the graphics. Of course there are games that just look bad or look very dated, but Life is Strange, in my humble opinion, as you can also see, is not really among them. Life is Strange is a game that has rather a unique art style than realistic graphics. No, wait, wrong. It has realistic graphics to some degree, but the game actually screams to you from the screen that this is a type of comic visuals. Everything is not detailed because it wants to be. It was actually designed that way. That, combined with the game's message, makes Life is Strange a very nice combo, in my opinion, when it comes to the department of visuals. One last line when it comes to the graphics is that this game's lighting is superb. I really have to say that the ambience that was created, the atmosphere that is created in the environments with the use of light is really well done, and it actually gives, I think, the most to the graphical side of this game. In the matter of sound, I do have one or two complaints. First, the sound of Max and Chloe are really well done. One of the best voice acting I've heard recently, and the performance, especially from Max, when she's talking in her head, is something I highly recommend. But the side characters, that's a totally different story. The secondary characters sometimes, in certain dialogue moments, just were putting me off. Let's make it simple. But at the same time, let's keep in mind that it might be just me. I haven't actually saw in the voice acting any kind of problems. It was just a feeling that I had somewhere down in me that these are people who are not giving 100% to the project. I don't know why, but I just felt that way. One other thing is the lip synchronization, especially in later episodes like episode 5 and episode 4. There are moments in the cutscenes where literally there is no lip syncing. It is not wrongly synced, but it is lacking. The model is not saying when you hear that character's voice. It breaks the immersion and actually is kind of like a quality letdown or a quality oversight. I don't know how that was actually possible and how it passed the quality test, but it's disappointing. Other ambient sounds are really well done when people are moving. Sounds like, you know, the cars going by, or the sounds of people walking around. That's actually in this production has no problem, in my humble opinion. When it comes to the music, a lot of the soundtracks are licensed, and the music in general is neatly put together, I have to say. The quality is there is no problem. If Dontnod keeps this level of music design, I will not complain in future productions, not really. Here they actually showed me that they know what they are doing when it comes to the sound design. The tracks are well placed, they accompany the mood, and well, that's basically all you can say. Plus the lyrics of the soundtracks that are licensed, the music soundtracks that are licensed, they do keep the game's story also flowing, which is something not every game does well. Okay, now department of controls, interactive entertainment, right? We're talking about interactive entertainment. Let's make it clear, the controls in this game are quite basic. You move through the environment by using the WSAD keys or on the pad. You interact with people and you basically solve puzzles, riddles, as well as you use the right mouse key on the mouse to reverse time. That's the basics, I would say. Let's not make this a statement against the developers. You play a game with time puzzles in them. The riddles force you to observe many times what is actually going to happen, then reverse and find a moment or a situation where you need to use your knowledge to actually influence. And that's all the fun in this game. At the same time, it is becoming quite standard today. The game actually keeps your hand in some of these moments. The characters sometimes just plainly tell you what you are supposed to do as a player, which actually kills a little bit of fun for me. But it happened maybe once in the whole playthrough. Most of the time I had no problem of figuring out what the game wants me to do before it actually told me. One final complaint about the gameplay mechanics is that as far as I can tell, you can't die in Life is Strange. You can't lose. A game where you can't lose. I deliberately tried one of the later episodes moments where you are actually forced to reverse time. If you don't do it, actually Max should have died, and the game just stops, freezes, black and white, and waits until you push the right button of the mouse to reverse. I don't know, but if these types of situations will happen in games more often, I personally will lose interest in these kinds of productions because I find it funny. First of all, there is no save besides auto-saving, which is very console type gameplay. I don't like it, but what can you do? It just happens. And second, it's like the design can't be that this is the worst type of design if you're not allowing the player to die. And I will ask that question here. Is it a game if you can't lose? Generally, this production is a type of title I would recommend, but keep in mind that it is not for everybody. At the same time, it is a production that has its depth, I would say, and if anything, the game can prove that it can be really, really good. I recommend playing Life is Strange, but keep in mind that this is an emotional ride. It is an episodic series that has potential to grow. I don't think that we will see another iteration in this series, but at the same time, if Dontnod wants to create something of this type, I will encourage them to do so, because even if Life is Strange is not the type of game for you, it is certainly a game for a big, growing, I would say, part of gaming community, and many people will enjoy it. I did, certainly, even considering how many negatives I found. They actually, and most certainly, never influenced me very directly when I was playing. I just mentioned them for you, so you are aware. Thank you for listening. My name is Gabriel, and I hope to see you soon with another review. Feel free also to browse my channel for some other productions you might find interesting. See ya!